A runway show, hosted by the Fashion Merchandising Association, proved that spring is the perfect time for fashion to blossom.
We did the show in fall, and it blew me away how the girls put everything together and the guys put everything together, and it just was a really cool event, and it seems like there's a lot of positive energy in the city, and so when they asked me to come back and do it in the spring, I was so excited.
Spiffy styles were presented by local shops like Pattaya, Vogue Boutique, and Texas Skate. Students modeled the looks on an impressive courthouse runway. For the retailers, the runway show was the perfect place to get their brand's name out to the public.
I just think it's a great opportunity to get the Monkey's name out, being that we are a new thrift store in the area, and just showing people who will be at the fashion show a glimpse of what we have to offer.
The Fashion Merchandising Association usually hosts spring and fall shows every year. If you're interested in attending the next one, follow the organization's Facebook page for more info.
And as far as styles go, you don't have to look far to find a store on the square that'll take your look from drab to fab. For Bobcat Update, I'm Greg Ariano.
The fall 2017 semester left an uneasy atmosphere for many Texas State students as racist flyers and banners were posted at various locations on campus. Many students and organizations, such as the Pan-African Action Committee, were left wondering whether any action would be taken by University President Denise Trouth to address the tensions. The perceived lack of concrete response has only heightened concerns on campus, and some students want to impeach the student body president Connor Clegg because of racially tinged social media messages that he posted years ago.
With Connor Clegg as an individual, from the very beginning of the journey of him becoming student body president, he didn't show much integrity as far as being a true opponent.
The campus protest moved to the LBJ Student Center, where the student government meets weekly.
I think that it was very successful and also necessary, because up until this point we've had racist banners and posters posted on campus, and there has been little to no action done.
Some PAC members and protesters expressed their concerns.
I think we need to also have a new change. I think that there's only so much that you can do to a system that's broken, that you have to revamp it. So to me, it takes new leadership on this campus.
Others offered ways to correct errors of the institution's recent past.
I think that we should just continue to do what we've been doing. We've been going to these spaces that we need to be in. We've been going to these meetings, talking to these people who are in these higher places. We need to continue to let our voices be heard.
The Pan-African Action Committee meets every Wednesday at 5 p.m. in Lampasas. The group encourages student involvement. For Bobcat Update, I'm Tre Simmons.
So my name is Diane Pasmino.
My name is Isabel Esparza.
So I'm an exchange student.
And I'm a sophomore at Texas State.
I'm originally from Ecuador, and except for what people tell me about Ecuador, I literally don't remember anything.
In regards to people who think, the term's illegal and terms of that nature, what they think, I think it's just, I can't really get into the mind of that. As a child of an immigrant and, parents who were raised in Mexico, it's really hard for me to put myself in that mindset.
My parents also, they were undocumented and now they have status, but for the longest, certain things, them working, they couldn't do certain jobs, or there was complications with that.
I think there's just a lot of stigma that they came here and it was super easy, and now they're just living off of whatever, of just of other people's work, and that's not true. The immigrant slash undocumented immigrant community is one of the strongest hardworking communities in the United States.
I've had friends that told me that they've had family members get deported for literally because they were racially profiled, and they they thought that they might be undocumented. You know what I'm saying? So I feel it's a lot more scary here. But if someone that was born here can stand up for that like DACA recipient that might be like scared of like what might happen if they do, like I feel like that like would mean a lot for them, you know?
Probably not. Maybe like showing them more out there. Like, all right, you guys.
If undocumented or immigrant students were not here, is that you know, there'd be less diversity, there'd be less voices heard, there'd be you know, just less of an intersectionality within Texas State student body, and I think that would take away from the experience of growing as people and just really learning from other people and like other walks of life through their experiences, and yeah, I think that's how it would change. There's also the counseling center. There are support groups for undocumented immigrant communities.
Well, I've been like going to counseling because like I just couldn't like do it on my own, and so I am thankful for the resources that have been available. Like just the fact that there's like counseling center that I could be like, hey, I'm like freaking out. Like I don't know how to control myself.
There's also the Underrepresented Student Advisory Council room that's in a room in LBJ, and you know, if the undocumented or immigrant community needs more support or just wants a place to go, that is a place in LBJ, and that they can find, you know, comfort. People who do feel comfortable speaking out should speak out, because you know, this is a democracy at the end of the day, and the people do have the power to make the change if they want to.
Well, some DACA recipients like kind of just stay quiet about it because they're like scared, and that makes complete sense. But I think that if someone with DACA like opens up about that kind of stuff, I think it's a big deal to kind of just try to be there for them and like really try to be like understanding and like motivating and like just like emotional support, I would say.
It's heartbreaking, you know, you have your friends, you have your loved ones whose futures are essentially in total ambiguity, in like a state of like, you know, just limbo essentially, because they don't know what's going to happen. Like their lives are literally in the hands of people who don't know their stories and people who don't know their lives.
Like imagine like waking up one day and it's just like, oh well, like now you can't do everything that you used to do, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I can't even imagine like what my life will be like once like DACA is removed, you know what I'm saying? Like if I was like, it's just so crazy to think that like one day I might get deported. Like that's just like, I never thought I would be living in a time where I'm like, oh, I'm at risk now, like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm kind of meant to be here for a reason. Like, I don't know. I'm studying art, but I've been making a lot of like political art pieces, and I feel like this is the place where people need it. Like, I just recently had, it was like an art auction, a fundraising for DACA recipients that needed money for their fees. And I had one of my paintings there, and it was basically like a self-portrait of me, and these things that people had said to me, but like I've only heard these things like when I came here to Texas. Like my ex's mom told me that like I should like leave the country, I don't belong here, I'm still like, I'm just like all these things, and I had never heard that in New York. So I was just like, whoa, like I've never been like hurt because of my status. This is the first time. And then like, so I was showing this painting, and then somebody came up to me, they were like, wow, like I'm not undocumented, but people have told me this just because of my skin color. And like he was just like, this is necessary. And so like I feel like, I don't know, like I feel like art is healing, so like I feel like people need that here.